Alright, get this out on Twitter. See who pops in here first. Alright, let's see what we got going on. And of course Weeble wants another update. Alright, what are we looking at on the 1 minute? Yeah, it is live. Couldn't see anything moving there. Not sure how much we're going to be going over today market wise. I do see people popping in. Hey Cassie, afternoon, how's it going? How has your day been? So yeah, every site you go on today has had information coming out of the Ukraine, and I did want to touch on that opening up today. Of course, thoughts and prayers with everyone over involved with the conflict going on in the Ukraine. I did post a link in on Claybrow's stream, but I wanted to send a message out on here as well. Anyone who is looking to donate towards relief efforts for Ukraine or any countries, there's most likely going to be refugees leaving out from Ukraine heading into other countries. Anyone who is looking to send relief, to donate, to try to help out, I ask you please to check on the companies that check on the organizations that you're going to be donating to. A lot of them, there are tons of legit organizations out there, but there will also be organizations that are looking to capitalize off of off the conflict going on. So just research, if you're going to do any kind of donating, any kind of relief, research the companies and organizations that you're donating to. Some of the more reliable ones are ones that are that aren't looking for money. Ones that are, and I know in this day and age of health concerns, we'll leave it at that. There are going to be restrictions on items that can be sent, but if you're looking to send canned goods, non-perishable cereal goods, donations of food. Keep in mind it's winter. If if you're looking for if you want to send something, anything for the cold weather. Also, not just. Of course, the conflict is horrible for the civilians involved, but a wrestler had mentioned that he has a family member that is serving in the military over in Poland, and if you have friends or family that are deployed overseas, it never hurts, and it doesn't have to be just because of conflict going on, but it never hurts to put together a care package of items from home, and it nothing fancy, but just something to remind them that you're back here and you're behind them, and just to lift their spirits up. So yeah, our checklist is thoughts and prayers, of course. If you want to donate or send to relief efforts, research, make sure that they're legit companies, they're legit organizations that are going to get materials to the people who need it. Because if you're sending it there for a reason, you want it to get there. You don't want it to go somewhere else. So research, find out if they canned food drive, stuff like that. Stuff that can help the people, and remember those who might be serving overseas right now, or anywhere in the world. It is times like these where the most important thing is to just be a good human. Yeah, I know, Cassie. I did. I saw a little bit of footage this morning. At first, I thought it was fear posturing as they were coming in. The footage was of Russian helicopters. I couldn't make out if they were Mi-24s or HIP-8. I couldn't make out what type of choppers they were, but they were coming across. It looked like they were coming across water, popping flares, and I was thinking, it might have just been like scare tactics, or helicopters coming in. They were firing rockets, but I realized, I went back and saw the clip again, and I did see streaks coming up from the ground. So it was, if you see that footage with, I think it was 3 or 4 helicopters coming across, popping flares, those choppers coming in, they were taking ground fire. There were some kind of surface-to-air missiles being fired up at them, from what I could see in the video, and the popping of the flares, they were, there's no denying that what's going on over there is, a horrible situation, and it needs to be resolved as quickly and as peacefully as possible. That's definitely what I like to see. It should have never happened, but it needs to be resolved, and it needs to be resolved with the minimal loss of life as possible. And of course, the number we always prefer is 0. Looking at it, so I don't know how many of y'all were watching the pre-market. The reason for the flares is most surface-to-air missiles are guided by infrared, so by popping the flares out, it creates a higher heat signature for the missiles to lock onto. So yeah, anytime you see, if it's an infrared-guided missile, they'll be popping flares. If it is a radar-guided missile, they'll be popping foil packs known as chaff in order to disrupt the tracking on the missiles. That's the reasoning behind that. But yeah, pre-market, it was looking like today was just going to be just all kinds of horrible, looking at the SPY, the gap down in after hours, that is extreme right there. I heard people making all sorts of predictions, SPY down to 350 and stuff. I think the initial wake up shock is this right here. Of course, we have an address coming from the White House today. Don't know what that's going to entail. And it's a whole huge political thing. It's going to be all over the news for quite a while. As it should be to get the information out there. But it looks like we had that initial shock, and you can see it in the SPY. We'll pop over to the Qs. We'll pop IWM. We'll look at the three major indices here. Same thing, huge gap down, and it looked like I think the recovery actually started before market open. People kind of I don't want to say calmed down, but people took a breath, took a step back, and the market has recovered from that huge push down we saw, that the gap down in after hours. Yeah, same thing on the Russell. Everybody saw huge losses. I know this morning AMC was down 17% and it started to move back up. Yeah, we were down, punched below 15. We ran almost up to 1650. We are above 16 right now. Looks like we're gathering a little bit of strength going into midday. A lot of that could have been day traders, just people. The volatility was most likely off the charts, and a lot of people probably jumped in and were bouncing in and out, just trying to capitalize on all the volatility in the market as a result of what's going on. Now I am still, so tomorrow it was a short week to this week. We only a 4-day market. I am looking. I want to see what AMC is going to do, because volatility will most likely be slowing down a bit, and I think that these looking towards cover calls for tomorrow. Just trying to grab a close out the week, usually on Thursday or Friday. If I'm not going to play covered calls from a Monday, I like to look and see how, potentially towards the end of the day, Thursday or opening of Friday, I like to see how those go, because there's a possibility of the price spiking up and getting your covered calls in and letting the market run away, letting the market back off going into Friday, and either closing out early or riding to expiration. Of course, anything you're doing with this, of course, with how much volatility is in the market, definitely, I always try to drive this home. If you are playing options, know your risk and set a stop loss. You will. Clay touched on it. It is about the preservation of capital. You don't want. If you're going to be taking risk, make sure you know what the limit of your risk is, and make sure you take the steps to protect your capital. So yeah, I got up this morning, looked at 6:30. We had negative 32. Luckily, there was no wind chill. I cannot wait. I think this weekend they say it's supposed to get up to 28 degrees here. The market will keep going down as the conflict intensifies. People will be scared. Yeah, one of the we hear the term FUD thrown around: fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Now, FUD is not always it's not people spreading lies to drive stuff down. It's actually the truth can contain FUD in it, and that's it's not just that that FUD is people trying to manipulate the price down. No, it's market wide. When people are unsure of what's going on in the world, yeah, the market will pull back. That's that's Clay touched on it. The people who are looking to capitalize on the conflict. People running out there and like, oh yeah, the market's going down, so I'm gonna rake in the money buying puts. That's, if you're the person who wants to take advantage of other people suffering and try to make a lot of money off it, yeah, that's between you and your own sense of what it means to be human. Now my portfolio has not changed from this. My investment strategy has not changed. I did identify, people were talking about, what companies, and I brought this up. I brought this up before. In times of conflict, government defense contract, those are they. For some reason, the companies that make weapons tend to make more money during conflict. Go figure. But my portfolio, I'm not changing my trading style. I'm not changing, my investments. I'm not, I'm not running out there trying to capitalize on what's going on in the world. I'm maintaining what I've got, and the stuff that I'm already in. If I end up buying something at a lower price, yeah, I'll buy it. But it's a position that I'm already in. It's not like I'm running out and looking what companies stand to make the most money off the war. I sold my Shib plan, most likely to keep everything else I have, not buying anything else for all. Yeah, like I said, I'll do little moves here and there. I'm looking, AMC, do a couple end-of-week cover calls. I do that every week. I'm not altering my trading strategy just because of what's going on in the world. Hate to say it, but nowadays most people only think about themselves. Very few truly good people left. Yeah. You hear millennial, Gen X, Gen Z. You hear all the terms and everything. And I think we have moved into a new phase of the lowness that humans can sink to, and that would be Generation Gimme. Give me this, give me that. Or Generation Now, or, it's the only person's actions you can truly control are your own. And you just got to wake up every day and decide to be a good person. Decide to be a good human. That's what it comes down to. And, no matter what we do, there are going to be people out in the world that aren't. And even through all that, no matter what they do, you still have to, for me personally, I will continue to try and be good and do good. So yeah, also if I can get any, if I can get any humor out there to try and, help lighten, help lift spirits up and everything, yeah, I might tell jokes, but none are coming to mind right now. Actually, yeah. So I do. I'll go ahead. I'll kick a joke out there. So of course, this morning, everything, the entire market. When I opened it up pre-market, everything was red. I believe Goldfield was green. I think they were the only green that I saw out there. And you always hear people talking that they want their broker value to be a phone number. Well, a lot of people who woke up this morning were looking at 411. Or you could say 911, but 411's funnier. They want to open up their portfolio, open up and see the value reflected in a phone number. Well, phone numbers can be 3 digits, so careful what you ask for. So yeah, we had this pop up to 1648. We're in when you look at the 1650 bracket, we are sitting, we're almost right in the middle of that right now. And it would be easy to say, the $16 bracket or 1617, but when you look at the option chain, a lot of times when I'm looking at the numbers, I'm looking at the brackets. If I've got 50-cent increments in my share prices, well, I want to know where it is in between these two strike prices. So right now we're right about in the middle between these, and I just wonder how this 1650 will hold up going into Friday. Because yeah, we could see more of a market pullback, tomorrow. End of the week uncertainty. Now, just going off of throwing a little bit of psychology out there, I think that the dip we could see tomorrow, or the gap down in pre-market, will not be as bad as the pre-market on Monday. I think Monday you could expect to see a lot harder of a dip because the stock market closes this afternoon. Oh, and it is there was a potential that based on the conflict and everything, all the prices going down, the stock market could have closed early today. At any point, the entire stock market could have taken circuit breaker halts and they could have shut down. So it is possible, depending upon what happens over the weekend, because the market will close today, and it'll remain closed until pre-market opens Monday morning, if it opens, because there is the possibility that depending upon what happens, that that they decide that the market will not open Monday morning. So that is also something you got to keep in mind. We're used to operating on the standard listed hours for the market, but there are events that take place. One such event was 9/11. The markets did shut down. So depending upon how the world's economies view this, it is possible that come Monday morning they might not open the stock market on Monday. I was told when I was racing horses that the fastest way to become a millionaire was to start out as a billionaire. That is correct. Yeah, at a casino, the best way to end up with a small fortune is to start with a large fortune. And that, Paul, that is part of why I push so heavily into the capital preservation and the stop losses. Because you could start off with you could have $100,000 portfolio, and something could happen. You could make some bad trades, bad investments. Something happens on the other side of the world beyond your control, and all of a sudden you lose a huge chunk of it. Horses are the fastest way to bankruptcy. Well, Cassie, are you talking about betting on horses or having a stable of horses? Because horses get excellent gas mileage, and as far as carbon emissions go, I'm driving the wife to the casino as we speak. Y'all got casinos up in Buffalo, or are you heading elsewhere to go to the casinos? I'm not sure how different states have different gaming laws. I know down on the Gulf Coast. And I don't know if it's true everywhere else. Well, obviously not out in Vegas, but in Vegas, Vegas was built on casinos. Up here in Minnesota, the casinos are on reservations. Down on the Gulf Coast, casinos have to be on the water. So you'll see a lot of boat-themed casinos, and even if they're not boat-themed, they're on floating barges that they build in casinos. So I don't know how the gambling laws are there in New York. Buffalo Creek Casino, owned by Natives American. 15 minutes from now. Okay, so casino, is that on reservation property? Because I know that's the way it is here in Minnesota also. Could be either. I knew someone that always bought fancy show horses, truck trailer, would file bankruptcy, then wash and repeat. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I can see that, Cassie. Oh, I didn't even notice that Paul took out the bot from earlier. Same in the race business. In the horse racing, yeah, that's it's downtown, but they own the plot line. Oh, okay. Speaking of racing, here's an interesting one for you. I'm not slacking. Oh, okay. Yeah, are you supposed to be having a storm tomorrow, Paul? Aren't you going to be plowing a bunch of snow? So I did see, it was one of the weirdest updates I got on my phone all day, but, totally totally get where they're coming from. Four-time Formula One champion Sebastian Vettel announced today that he will not be driving in the Russian Grand Prix at Sochi. I don't know if 8 inches by morning. Oh yeah, a lot of snow coming. I don't know if other drivers are going to be doing the same. You could see. We're already seeing sanctions. There could be a lot of boycotting events in Russia, but that was from the sporting world, and it's kind of silly, talking about the sporting world and everything, but just we were talking about racing, and as y'all know, I follow motorsports. I love racing. Doesn't matter if it's Formula One, IndyCar, trucks, the racing, motorcycles. I'll watch it all. But four-time world champion Sebastian Vettel coming out and saying he will not race in Russia this year at the Russian Grand Prix at Sochi. So I'm wondering if the FIA might actually pull. As part of international pressure, it's just a race, yeah, but events like that, so many cities vie for the Olympics because it brings, it's a huge economic boom for the country. It usually doesn't work out too good for the city, but for the country itself, the country tends to make a lot of money. And, every little thing you can do to apply pressure. So yeah, if FIA comes out and says we're pulling Sochi from the schedule, there will be no Russian Grand Prix, give it to another country. Let's go back over to the chart. Yeah, look. That is one-upmanship right there. We had 1648 was the high over here. And we got 1649. Are we going to actually tag 1650? How is PROG looking? PROG is... They have moved into that channel. I'm going to expand out just a little bit here. So it has pushed down. If you look, that $1.10 I set up as a channel, well, it dropped down $1.13, bounced off there. That might be the limit of where it goes. I know I had the 90-cent disaster line on there. $91. 10-cent increments through this zone, and then you bounce up, and I think this was $35. $1.35, and that was just going further back, establish those levels and everything. You can see my average is still at $1.61. That has not changed. I have not purchased anymore. Have not averaged down. So still kind of waiting to see. As I stated before, my last. When I averaged down, it was at $1.27. So I am up from where. On those portion of shares that I'd gotten, I am up on those, so that's good news. Well, overall, I'm down on the position, but since I bought, my brain's all over the place. Since I increased my position and averaged down, I'm up on the shares that I averaged down with. Who else? Let's look at GameStop. GameStop does not, I don't know what it is, I don't seem to give them a lot of love. I want to go ahead and add them. What do I have to do to add them to this? No. Give me a second here. I'm trying to, oh, no. Wrong thing. You think after all this time I'd be better at using the interface. Add to watch list. There we go. We still want Tesla on top, though. Actually, no. We want AMC. AMC on top. AMC always on top. PROG. Granddaddy GameStop. Tesla SPY. I want kind of a look here. Okay, well, you can't. I'm going to drop the SPY down below the logo. I always forget that I got the logo there, so I'll throw the SPY under there, because usually when we do a walkthrough on the overall market, I go through, do the SPY, the Qs, and the IWM, Russell 2000, just to kind of give a look at how the overall market's doing. So, we don't have to have that one up and going, but all of our active watchers, all the ones, the positions that people are interested in, and I might even pull Tesla off there. Don't think about it, just do it. I'm going to pull Tesla off there. The only reason I had Tesla on there was Simon was playing puts on Tesla, so I had that on there just to make it easier doing analysis for him. No, I do have a price prediction on PROG between $18 to $24 when it squeezes. Now, the reasoning on how I came up with this number, everyone has their own deal. If we go back to this run when it ran up to $6.20, this run was as a result of between 33 to 35% of the outstanding shares covering at the time. I believe it was at, I think it was 14.27 was a short interest of the free float. And they covered right about a third of the position. Like I said, 33 to 35% of the outstanding shares were covered, and that resulted in this drive up. So it was hanging out. What do we got there? It closed out at. Let me zoom in just a little bit there. So it closed out at 347, and if you look, so right here we're just shy of 11 million shares traded in volume on that day. Here we've got 232 million, just shy of 100 million there. We're talking 100 million shares. And then here 165 million, 165.5 million. So looking at these candles, these 3 days. It keeps going to that one. I don't want that one there. I want that one. That day and the 3 preceding days saw so much volume traded. And this accounted for about a third of the short shares covering. Now, of course, we know as FOMO kicks in, as the ARK gets more it'll start off and then it'll ramp up as it gains momentum out. You see that on a lot of stocks. As it's going to peak, it gets steeper and steeper as it goes up. So, just doing rough mathematical equations, if that was 33%, if we see anywhere from 65 to 80% of the shorts cover in a short time period, that's where I just kind of extrapolate that number, going off the multiples of 3 times higher, 3 times 6, 18, 4 times higher, 4 times 6, 24. So that's where I got the 18 to 24. It's just kind of rough numbers that I would be looking for if we were looking at 2/3 to 80%, 65 to 80% of the shorts covering. I could see from where we are pretty much anywhere that there could be a potential run into those ranges if they go to cover the short position. Now, PROG as a stock itself, I think, is valued a lot higher than what it's trading at right now. When you look at a lot of the other companies, you can look at all the, and it doesn't. I want to avoid any politics of it, but when you look at certain companies like Moderna, like Pfizer, like Johnson & Johnson, how high their stock is valued now looks certainly inflated by certain factors. But if you look at companies more like Bristol Myers Squibb, companies that are in the medical field but not part of the big three, the big boys club of all of that, you kind of look around, look at different stocks within the sector, and PROG really should be somewhere in the 5 to 10 range. Oh, and house phone doing weird things. And that was a spam call. But yeah, so I definitely think Prog should be hanging out in the $5 to $10 range. Somewhere in there as a regular price. But due to the last short data that I saw, and after those positions were closed, it wasn't too long later that more short positions were taken out on Prog. I don't know. I don't have Ortex. I don't know what the numbers are. But I do know that the short interest, I've heard it say many times that according to Ortex, that their short interest has returned to same levels or is actually higher than it was before. So that is Prog is actually the second largest position I hold right now. Not only as a short squeeze candidate, but just because of it's currently, the price is trading at is well below what it should be. Now, of course, long term, like long term, I don't see me holding Prog past the return to fair market price or short squeeze price, simply because the majority of my long-term investments, and eventually I will filter out non-dividend stocks, a majority of my investment are dividend stocks. They were calling about car warranty that's about to expire. Yeah, that's I can't imagine that the places that do those calls for the warranty. Could you imagine if somebody actually extends their warranty? Could you imagine the party they would throw? I mean, it would be, I think, it'd be absolutely crazy how big of a celebration they would throw. Oh, I pulled up GameStop. I didn't really look at it. Oh, GameStop's looking great on the day. So a gap down to almost down to 104, and it's ran back up over 21 for the high. Currently sitting right at just about 120. That is GameStop's having a good day. Oh, hey, Paul, I wanted to ask. Did you? We looked at a stock the other day, a dividend stock. I think it was a finance company at 15% dividend. Any news on that? Did you look any deeper into it, or how are you doing on that? I don't even remember what the ticker was. What did we? Let's see if it's. Oh no, I can't. It doesn't show me recently viewed stocks. I thought it did. Yeah, but I was meaning to ask, how you were doing on that, because we're all friends, and I certainly want to see all my friends do good in the market. I want to see all of us. I wish they had like a recently viewed list. That would be fun. Or not fun, but it would be I don't know what word I'm looking for. Oh, recently viewed. There we go. Only one is showing me is URG. Really? Oh, never mind. GameStop calls. So those are $1 increment. Wow, holy! Look at the price on those calls. That is, I don't want to say ridiculous, but that is intense right there. Oh, to be sitting on 100 shares of GameStop right now. Hell, God, I'd be risking 125, 126. The fact that I could pull in, $260 almost on the 125 calls, and knowing that they probably don't want it to run up to 125, well, they probably don't want it to be above 120. So depending on how your risk is, you could drop covered calls anywhere in here. That is insane how. But then again, you look at the chart. Look at how it's just steadily gone up throughout the day. That yeah, calls, covered calls on GameStop would be wonderful right now. Oh, that's right. You said you're driving. Yeah, if you're driving, don't let me distract you with typing and stuff. $8,118, but that's $10 is $10. Risking 17 for $30. A little bit of administrative work here. Oh, IVR Invesco. That's what it was. I know I could find it somewhere. Yeah, so pretty much anything you look at, you're going to see, you're going to see the gap down this morning. That's going to be present everywhere. Drop down just below. They might have had a lot of people step in at $2, or a lot of people who were set right around $2, because it certainly it bounced nicely off 204. Do they have options? Oh, no, no option data on them. Okay, yep. Don't mind me, I'm bouncing across my phones right now. Refreshing my work phone to see how long I've got left in lunch here. Which I am gonna wrap it up here for the day. I don't know if I'll be back on in the evening. Just with everything going on. Unless if the MOAS kicks off going into after hours, yeah, there might be. If MOAS kicks off and I can swing it, I'll be streaming. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and call it for the day. I want to thank everyone who stopped by today. Paul, Cassie, thank you all for coming, spending a little bit of time out of the day. Didn't really go over much as far as market analysis and stuff like that, but certainly just good to get away from everything and just hang out and spend time with friends. And so I hope y'all have a wonderful day, and I wish y'all good health and good trades. And I will catch y'all next time. Probably see y'all over on Clay Bros in a little bit. And have a wonderful day.